Welcome to another lesson on this channel, Learn with Miss Dadzie. Today we are looking at how to answer oral English language test. Don't forget to like, share, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. As mentioned earlier, today we'll be looking at the listening and speaking aspects, that is oral English, and it's usually paper 3 when writing WASSCE. Introduction to English Language Orals. The English Language Paper 3 is meant to test students' knowledge on sounds and their realizations in isolation or in a given sentence. It also tries to identify students' level of comprehension or understanding and attention span with regards to listening. That is usually the conversation and narrative aspect. That is test 7 and test 8. Now we are going to look at the summary of what paper 3 is about, that is the focus. The type of questions that are usually asked are the multiple choice. The total number of questions are 60. And it is called over 30, meaning each question carries half a mark. The time varies, but it's usually between 40 minutes to 45 minutes. And the aspects of the English language paper are actually 8. That is, there are 8 in all. So now let's consider the aspects of oral English. The first one, or the first item I would want us to consider is test 1 to 3. This part considers word identification, the ability to relate sounds to the letters or words they represent in written speech. That is, test on vowel quality in isolated words, final voiced or voiceless sounds, consonant sounds or consonant class test. And then we move to test 4. For test 4, we consider identification of words, but this time round, not words in isolation, but words in a given structure. That is to say, in sentence context. That is when words are used in sentences, one's ability to identify them. Let's continue with test 5. Test 5 considers rhymes. This considers words that have similar rhyme, and we know that rhyme usually considers the medial sound and the end sound. That is, words that are heard, the last words or sounds that are heard when a word is pronounced. And we move on to test 6, that is the emphatic stress identification. Test 7, test on intonation, and the last one, test of understanding of the content of longer dialogues, that is conversation, and narratives. So quickly we move to test 1 to test 3. These tests are meant to test students' ability to identify words at their phonemic level. That is how they are realized when they are pronounced. Test 1 and 2 have 3 options, and test 3 has 4 optional words for you to choose the correct answer. The speaker will pronounce only one word of the optional words for you to choose the correct answer. These tests have to deal with the 3 basic aspects of sounds realization and words. Sounds can be realized at the initial, the medial, and final stage of pronouncing words. Let's look at the various aspects. The first one is the initial sound. It is the first sound produced when one pronounces a word. Examples are the word kin. The first sound you hear is k. And then we move on to the second one, that is men. And the first sound you hear is mm. We move on to t. The first sound you hear is t. And then the next one is kun. The first sound you hear is k. We move on to pick. The first sound you hear is the p sound. And the last one, book. The first sound you hear is the b sound. And that is it for initial sound. We move on to the medial sound. These are sounds that are realized in the middle of a word when pronouncing the word. Examples are sheet. And the word you hear is sheet. We move on to meal. The sound in the middle is the E sound, that is the meal. We move on to mat. The sound in the middle is mat. And then we move on to men. The sound in the middle is A. And this is how they are realized when transcribed in the dictionary. Now, the final sounds. The final sounds, these are sounds that are realized or produced at the end of the word when it is being pronounced. This is the last word you hear, the last sound you hear when a word is mentioned. Examples: math, so you hear the th sound. Seat, you hear the t sound. Tip, you hear p. Head, you hear the d. Nose, you hear the z sound. Revision on sounds. So we are going to try our best to revise some of the sounds that we have in English language. The first one is the tricky consonant sounds. The second one, basic differences between short and long vowel sounds. And the last one will be the R influence. So tricky consonant sounds in English language. The first one is the J sound. Now, this sound is usually realized when the letter J is used in a word. So we have example, judge, and that one has been transcribed. And you realize that with that one, the first realization was with the letter J, but then the second one is DG. When DG comes together, we also realize the sound J. So we have other examples. And then we move on to the second one, the ch sound. It is produced or realized when you use the CH, letter CH together in a word. So we have examples like church. And it's at the beginning and at the end. And in this case, we have the medial sound being highlighted for you. So we have other examples: torch, match, chair, patch. And in all these cases, you realize the ch sound being used. We move on to the third one, that is the th sound. So teeth, month, thief, through, thumb. And then we come to the sh sound. This is usually realized when we have the letters SH being placed together. So example is the shoe. So we have other examples such as shape, sheet, ship, mash, cash, lash, etc. Differences between short and long vowels. Now, the English language vowel sounds are made by, or they are produced when these letters are used. Almost all vowels are stressed. The schwa vowel is the commonest unstressed vowel in English language. Stressed syllable or words are always produced or pronounced with extra force. That is, when you are pronouncing it, you realize that you need extra force. The English language has short and long vowels. Long vowels are always followed by the colon sign when it is transcribed or symbol. The R influence. R, when placed next to a vowel sound, is likely to cause a stress in the production of the vowel, which is indicated with the semicolon. We have example, park, and the shortened form is pack. That is the one which has no R in it. And we have the lard, and we also have the shortened form, that is the lard. We have the part, and we have the shortened form part. I hope this was useful to you, and see you with the part 2 of the oral English language test, where we try to use a typical situation of an oral test, that is the ones that has been written before, and how best you can apply these rules, with a detailed explanation of the various aspects, that is the 8 aspects, to help you understand better. Till then, enjoy, and do not forget to try your hands on oral English test to enhance your understanding. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more information. Thank you.